I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye, set on his goals Kanye. I hate the new Kanye, the bad mood Kanye, the always rude Kanye, spaz in the news Kanye. I miss the...
Okay, so let's start off with this. Ubisoft Forward of September 10th, 2022. Now, this event mattered so much to me as an Assassin's Creed fan because this showcase was finally going to reveal the future of Assassin's Creed. Up until now, all we've been getting has just been Valhalla DLC and stuff about Valhalla. And so we really didn't know what the future of Assassin's Creed was going to be. But last year was the 15th year anniversary of Assassin's Creed. So they had to do something big for Assassin's Creed, right? I mean, ain't no way you're going to go all year without doing anything for Assassin's Creed, because that's kind of how it felt like. But man, last year was just a tease, man. Last year, bro, I was starving. It was the 15th year of Assassin's Creed. It was an anniversary year. And man, I didn't get any news until September 10th. Are you serious? I remember like in June or something, they had like this little like anniversary stream, but it wasn't anything near to what I got on September 10th, man. I'll tell you what. But man, all they did was just tease. Pretty much the only thing that kept me afloat was just a bunch of leaks about Assassin's Creed projects that Ubisoft was working on. I mean, I heard about like an Assassin's Creed VR game, an Assassin's Creed Infinity project that for some reason Ubisoft is doing. I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to get a headache. But then the project that most stuck with me was Project Rift, which of course we came to know as Assassin's Creed Mirage. And originally Project Rift was just supposed to be another Valhalla DLC, like if we didn't get enough of those already. And so this game was just supposed to be another expansion to the game. But thankfully it grew to be way much more than just that. So the leaks that came out pretty much just said that it was supposed to be a game centered around Basim, that it was supposed to be more stealth based in a more traditional Assassin's Creed game. And you know, that stuff right there really popped out to me, because a traditional Assassin's Creed game, really? An Assassin's Creed game that's supposed to be like Assassin's Creed? But man, seeing these leaks just got me more and more excited to see when Ubisoft was going to finally announce these games. And that September 10th came. And I remember the Ubisoft Forward event, you know, was just going along. Like, there was just a few announcements there. You know, I don't really care about that. What I really cared about was the final event, which was that dedicated Assassin's Creed stream. My goodness. This is actually the first time I've ever seen like a dedicated showcase for Assassin's Creed. I mean, it just goes to show how big Assassin's Creed has become for Ubisoft. Like, I think that is legitimately their biggest IP to this point. Like, I would have honestly never thought that this franchise would be as big as it is. But man, it has made Ubisoft so much money. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more dedicated Assassin's Creed showcases in the future. But man, when that showcase started, man, I was seated, man. I was like, let's go. Here we go. And man, the first thing they showed, Assassin's Creed Mirage, man. Dude, when I saw that, I was yelling. I was screaming. I was like, let's fucking go, dude. Finally, an Assassin's Creed game about assassins! Finally! We fucking finally got the game.
Vibrant city of Baghdad that you're gonna roam through the game, and it's it's a very dense city where you're gonna meet a lot of different people.
That's amazing. I know our community is very
I'm gonna fucking tear up right now. Oh my god! Finally.
Special to you specifically.
And when they finally showed that game off, man, I was yelling and screaming, bro. We finally got Assassin's Creed Mirage, man. A traditional Assassin's Creed game that's supposed to go back to formula, back into its roots, and finally a game that me as an Assassin's Creed fan can get super excited about, because this game is supposed to be Assassin's Creed. And all they really showed off was a cinematic trailer. You know, like we haven't seen a billion of those already from Ubisoft. And you know how Ubisoft loves to lie, and they love to, you know, make their games look like they're a lot better than what they really are. But there's something about this game, it just got me really excited, because seeing this game just made those rumors and all the things that they said come true. So it really goes to show that like these rumors, all these leaks about an Assassin's Creed game that's more traditional and all that stuff could actually become truth. And what got me the most excited was that these leaks were coming true. So a more traditional Assassin's Creed game, one that's closer to its roots, a more stealth-based game with Basim, which Basim is a really cool character. Man, I was so excited. And while I was there sitting jittery, super happy, and seeing all the people that they introduced, and as that the showcase went on, dude, all I was thinking about was Mirage. We're so close. 2023 collector's edition, all these things. I was like, yes, I'm all aboard for it. But then time just kept going, and then my assignment started going down, and then it just started to hit me like, oh wait, what if this game sucks? What if this game doesn't do well? Is this the last Assassin's Creed game that we see with its original formula? Are we gonna get another game like this if this one fails? So those were my concerns started coming from. And before I continue, I just want to say thank you so much for coming here and watching this video about me just ranting about Assassin's Creed. I cannot believe this channel has grown to 200 subscribers. I know that sounds like, it's like, whoa, it's just 200, but like, dude, this is insane. I would have never thought there'd be 200 people that subscribe to my channel just to hear me talk about video games, about other stuff. Man, it is incredible, and I'm super happy to be doing this. And I just love making videos about just random stuff that just come to my head. So thank you so much for subscribing, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. So I already talked about last year's Ubisoft Forward. Now let's talk about this year's Ubisoft Forward. This year's Ubisoft Forward, they finally showed full gameplay trailer of Assassin's Creed, and we finally got to see the game in motion. And so my expectations were in check. I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, the game was supposed to be DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and since it was supposed to be DLC for the game, I really wasn't expecting it to be like completely different mechanics. I wasn't expecting there to be like some incredibly new gameplay features, for the graphics engine to be completely overhauled. So, it's going to be on the same engine as Valhalla. It's going to pretty much have a lot of the same reuse animations from Valhalla. There's going to be a lot of similarities, from Valhalla, and also I guess the past other two Assassin's Creed games. And also I guess you're going to see some similarities from Origins and Odyssey, since Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla are pretty much like a trilogy in its own. So going into the Ubisoft Forward event, I actually had lower expectations. But then when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Because like they showed off Basim parkouring in the city of Baghdad. They showed off pretty much the environment, everyone that's there. They showed him assassinating people, even some combat. But the thing that really stood out to me was when he was escaping everyone. They showed the different tools that you can use when you're trying to escape. That red powder that he throws on the floor like a smoke bomb, that was so cool. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that feature. But man, the parkour, it looks similar to Valhalla, obviously, because it's on the same engine. So I'm not expecting like Unity level parkour, which is like 10 out of 10. But honestly, the parkour just seems like it's been a little bit more fine-tuned, because I'm not gonna lie, the parkour in Valhalla was not that bad. A lot of people think it was, but if you think about it, Eivor had a heavier suit and will have heavier armor than Basim, because Eivor is a Viking. So obviously, running around with all that armor, with like a heavy shield on you, all the weapons and stuff you had, you're gonna be a little bit more stiff. You're gonna be a little bit heavier when you're running around and stuff like that. So Eivor running obviously is gonna be a little bit slower than Basim running, when Basim does not have all the armor that Eivor has. But I really like all the addition of the tools that they showed off. It's really cool to have a tool set again. I know that was something that was integral to the older Assassin's Creed games. Also, the multi-chain assassinations were pretty cool. The darts, they're back. Sleep darts. I bet there's probably a berserk dart. All that stuff is just classic Assassin's Creed, man. But just being able to play a game like this, it's just a dream come true to me, because it's been a long time. And honestly, I was not thinking that Ubisoft will go back to this formula, because it has been quite a while since they have even touched a game like this and tried to make something like this, because they pretty much abandoned the formula with after they made Syndicate. They said, okay, no more. And they kind of switched to like this RPG style of gameplay, and also kind of like a loot-based gameplay too, which actually started to get me worried about the franchise as a whole, because I feel like Ubisoft has been having identity crisis with their games. Like, all these games are starting to look very similar to each other. Like, they have a certain formula that Ubisoft likes to use in their games, and now they're like, okay, all these games are going to have the same formula now, where it's like you have this sort of loot system and all the enemies are tiered level, and you have a leveling up system, and there's this giant open world that you go and you just grind it out and make your character stronger. And that sort of formula I feel like has been worn out a lot, because I feel like almost every Ubisoft franchise has that. I'm surprised Just Dance doesn't have that, because it's like Ubisoft has just been putting that sort of mechanic in all of their games now. And at first, when I saw them do that with Assassin's Creed, in Assassin's Creed Origins, which by the way is my absolute favorite game. I have that game platinumed on PlayStation. I loved that game. I put over 300 hours into that game. And so ultimately, this is where we started to see the change in Assassin's Creed with Assassin's Creed Origins. So Origins didn't really go that deep into the RPG mechanics. They did have some, and that's why I actually pretty much enjoyed that one the most out of these past 3 Assassin's Creeds, because Origins, it not only told a really deep and rich story, but it also made it to where all the stuff that you were doing within the game didn't really feel that boring, in my opinion. Like, overall, I feel like the open world was boring, because 80% of the open world is just sand. Like, I know you're in Egypt, so it kind of makes sense, but like, dude, I really feel like they didn't try because like there's just big open sections in the map that are just straight up sand. And I'm just like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, are you actually kidding me right now? But again, we didn't really see that crazy RPG mechanics like how we would in the next game. Pretty much always saw with like different weapon varieties, where we had just the blue weapons. I don't even remember what they were, but like there were like these blue weapons that were like the base ones that were just common, and the purple ones were like rare. And then the gold ones were like the rarest ones. And those gold ones were the ones that you would want to get, because those were the stronger type of weapons. You had different skins that you were able to get, like different outfits that you could unlock. And you can go to like a tailor, like a traditional tailor, like how you could in all the other Assassin's Creed games. And you can unlock different like armor pieces and sets to wear, but the armor did not have any effect on your health or anything like that whatsoever. You did have a shield, which was pretty cool, because the shield gameplay was pretty neat, like how you could parry, you can block arrows, and you can just take the arrows out of your shield and put them back in your quiver. So you had a lot of really cool mechanics like that. But then you went over to Odyssey, and they just went crazy. They went absolutely nuts with the RPG mechanics. Like, man, I have Odyssey Platinum too, and I can't believe I platinumed that game. But that game was a grind, because not only did you have to level up your character, but you also had to level up your armor, and then you had to like every individual piece of your armor. Like, you had a helmet, you had braces, and then you had a chest piece, you had a skirt, or whatever that shit's called, and then you have boots. I'm like, dude, like, are you kidding me? So like every individual piece of armor you had a different stat. All of them count towards like warrior damage, range damage, assassin. I'm like, dude, why did you have to do all that crazy shit? You could have just done something simple like how Origins did. Origins, you can become like OP as fuck and you don't have to worry about range damage, assassin damage, warrior damage. Dude, really? And so I feel like we need a game like this in Assassin's Creed right now, because we need a game that goes back to its traditional formula, that goes back to its roots, that is a love letter to fans like diehard fans like me that fell in love with the original game, and pretty much just show that these sort of games can actually work nowadays. And so this is why I really hope it succeeds ultimately, because, you know, the Ubisoft execs, you know, they don't care about traditional gameplay. They don't care about traditional Assassin's Creed. What they care about is money. And if this game does not sell well, it could ultimately be the downfall of this traditional Assassin's Creed formula. We might just continue seeing games like how we saw with Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins, because those games did numbers for Ubisoft. They made money off Valhalla. It was their most successful game. It was their most successful game that they've launched in a long time. It's absolutely insane how much money Valhalla made for Assassin's Creed. So then when we see stuff like how they did for the Valhalla Dawn of Ragnarok DLC, and we see things like that, and then we're just like, why? Why are we fighting mythical monsters? And we are pretty much like a god, like a deity. Like, why am I Odin? I am not supposed to be Odin. I'm supposed to be an assassin. Why did we deviate so much from the original formula? Well, money talks at the end of the day. And so when we see stuff like that and we question why, well, just know that that stuff sells. People ultimately like that stuff. But ultimately, if this game does sell well, we could see more games like this. We could see a faithful return to the Assassin's Creed traditional formula. We could see more stealth-based Assassin's Creed games like this. I really hope that Codename Red game that's like set in feudal Japan, I really hope they have it, you know, kind of like heavily stealth-based too. I would love to see that. You know, I know that it's going to be compared a lot to Ghost of Tsushima, and we could see, like, you know, a lot of people say, oh, Tsushima's better and all that sort of stuff, which honestly, that's Ubisoft's fault, because we've been wanting a Tsushima-like game from Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed forever, so it's their fault that someone did it before them, and now they're going to get compared to that. But I really hope that Codename Red game is also a stealth-based game like this one. But I do feel like that game is going to be more like Origins and Valhalla and Odyssey, just because that game has already been in development for a while, and so there really isn't a way for them to just, you know, be like, oh man, we got to do a whole stealth-based game. You know, this is the game people want now. I don't think that's how it's going to be like for a while. But like I said, money talks, and if this game succeeds, we could be seeing a return to formula, and that's what I want. But I want to see more games like this, man. When I was looking at the gameplay for this and the trailers and all that stuff, man, all I can think of, I was just playing on the PS3, even on the PS4 when I was playing the Ezio Trilogy Remastered. But I was just thinking about all those times when I was playing those games, just climbing on top of the buildings in Rome and in Venice, in Florence. I was just thinking about all those times I was doing all that sort of stuff. And man, this game, it just looks great. It really honestly looks great. It looks like it's going to be a good time, and it's going to be cool to see just how a street thief, a nobody, turns into a grand master, an assassin master. So a master assassin. So it would be so cool to see this game just do big numbers, to see this game become a huge hit and bring in new fans to the Assassin's Creed, and then they go back and play some of the older games, and then hopefully this inspires newer projects. I want to see an Assassin's Creed game set in the Civil War. I think that would be such a cool concept. I've talked to my friends about that so much. I'd love to see an Assassin's Creed game set during World War II. I've already seen some leaks about a potential Assassin's Creed game like set in the Aztec Empire. Like, dude, like, yes, man. They have so many historical settings that they can use and they can turn into games. Like, it would be so cool to see them do so many different historical settings. But I feel like not all of them can work properly with this sort of like RPG style, and they just kind of force it in and it just turns into a bad game. So this is why I want the game to succeed. Look, I want to see more games like this, and I don't want to see this sort of formula die out for Assassin's Creed. I want to see it continue to grow, continue to be expanded on, continue to be innovated, and seeing this gameplay and everything that they've shown off, listen to the developers talk about this game, it really gets me excited. But then when I see that like Assassin's Creed Valhalla made Ubisoft over $1 billion, and it's probably even more now. Like who knows how much they made them now, but over $1 billion, like that's insane. And I know that game was just absolutely huge. It might not have a bigger map than Odyssey, but it has way much more content than any Assassin's Creed game up to date. It's even had like a post-launch expansion where like it's its own separate game. And so it's like, it's insane that a game like that's just a single player game, raked in that amount of money, And so when I see stuff like that, it really gets me nervous for a game like this that's on a smaller scale, that doesn't have any like post-launch support, that isn't going to, hopefully sell you skins in a store that you can buy. Those little stupid time saver bullshit that Ubisoft loves to throw at you. A smaller game like this that's supposed to be like a love letter to Assassin's Creed fans like me, that stuff gets me worried, because Ubisoft sees, okay, a game like Valhalla makes us money. Let's keep making Valhalla, and if this game doesn't make the money, let's not make any more Mirages. Man. But ultimately, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more videos coming out soon, and I'll catch you guys later.